morning. Welcome to Dunsmore Moving Dirt. We're in the dozer truck. We're moving to the next little project. We're in southeastern Clay County, which I left southwestern Archer County, and it's a little bit different ground. It's got a lot of grass and rolling hills and everything, and wind turbines, of course. And when we get ready to stop, we're going to go south of here, probably a couple more miles. I've got my instructions right here. I was led into here a couple weeks ago one direction. I was told to come out another one, and that's the way I needed to come in with the truck. So I looked on Google Earth and wrote it down so I could remember which way to turn left and right, and which road is going in. But when we get down to where we're going to be in hills and oak trees. So got a road to fix that's washed out. So I'm going to put you on the dash and let you have the view from. And it's a gravel road all the way. I just turned off the highway. Kind of went east to Windthorst. As the road signs are not tore down, I'm going to be all right. I don't think I didn't put links on there. Well, I left it on the pole, so that's a good thing. I hope that's not near as rough on you as it is on me. Anything is rough. And my truck's not the smoothest thing in the world, because it's used to driving out here on stuff like this. Got a lot of washboards out there. next turn will be east or to the left. I think it's the next road. It says that's where I need to be turning. The phone. So I guess I'll use the paper and the phone. right up here in this curve, and it's uphill as soon as you turn. So I'm going to slow down right now. Someone has missed the curve right here before. About nothing hitting the front window, I just can't knock off that little antenna on top. It's rubber, but if you hit it sideways, it breaks off. My cab's 13.7. So far, so good. Straight ahead, I think. Supposed to be a gate and a curve. And I gotta find the key that they hit. Find the key. gate straight, I'll get in there. But that's a big if. I was told where the key was at, but I have found many a key at a gate where they didn't tell me where it was at. So you got to know what to look for. A rock or a piece of wire, under a stick, or in a can, or someplace no one else would ever look. Okay, let's... Oh, you are bending every which way but the right way. Son of a gun. I might make a truck driver yet. In the road. And clear a few trees out and this is the road. Well, when I get unloaded, we'll look around. Okay, I think we're mic'd up and everything working. I got my mic hooked up because as long as you're right up here in the middle of these trees, the wind's not blowing, but you hit a little open area and it blow your hat off. Like I said, we are in southeastern Clay County. This is the dozer customer I have, but he lives in northeast Clay County, which is totally different from this. There's no oak trees up there. It's sand, but not the same kind of sand this is. It's a sandy loam, just oak trees everywhere. This is just prime. Hunting's probably the #1 deal. I mean, deer, turkey, hogs, just anything, and they just thrive down here in this woods. I guess it's the closest thing to woods that we got up here in north central Texas, but as you can see, then you get underbrush under there and briars and everything else. And if you try to walk through there, it's going to sound like that bulldozer went through there. I mean, everything will hear you from a mile off, but now deer can walk through those, and unless you see him coming, you're not going to hear him. Her or it, whatever. So I know because I was deer hunting one time and I was up in a tree and it was surrounded by them briars like that. It was just, to get to that tree, you had to get through them briars, and I just happened to turn around and look behind me, and there was 3 doe walking up through there, so I just watched. I mean, I couldn't hear them if I hadn't seen them, but what they do when they stick their leg down, they pull it right straight up and they shake it as they pull it up, and them briars don't stick in there. If you try to walk through there, you're dragging your leg through there, and them things will just wrap around you and poke in you and everything else. So they know a secret to get through them briars up here in these woods. So anyway, what we've got to do, or I've got to do, you can help, is this road. When he called me and said I needed a road work down, he does not own this property. He just kind of manages it for a widow lady, and they hunt, and then there's cattle out here. They lease it out to people to run their cattle down here, but this ground up here is bad about doing this. It's sandy loam, and then there's rock under it, and as long as it's flat, good ground, grows grass if it ain't covered up in these oak trees, but if you get a little wash in it, it washes it plumb down to the rock. And when he had called me, he said I needed a road worked on. We're not going to go the entire deal. I drove down, flew down it in my drone a while ago. But this is the best part of it. It gets worse. You go down through here, you cross a culvert, then you start up that hill, and water has been in the road from the top of the hill to the bottom. And that's what the problem is. This thing has had oil field traffic and every other kind of traffic on it. No one lives back up in here. And what happens once the road gets down low enough where the water can't get out of it, this is what it does. It goes down till it finds something it can't go through, which is usually sandstone. And then if the sandstone disappears, it goes on down deeper till it hits something else. But when he first called me, he said, I got a road that needs fixing. I said, does the water running down the middle of it? He said, yep. He said, well, I think that's what's wrong with it. He said, you can get stuck in a four-wheel drive in places. So I just thought off the hand, well, this is a motor grader job and a bulldozer job. But when we get down here, he tells me what his budget is, so I rule out the motor grader right off. He wants it fixed. He wants as much as I can get it fixed with a certain amount of expense. They're paying for it. So I told him that what needs to happen is this road has got to be raised up and some turnouts where when the water does get into it, we can get it out before it drops off and causes one of them. And that's the best way. And I know I've watched some videos and they would have excavator and off-road trucks and they'd start raising this road up with dirt. Well, that's the most expensive thing you can do when you're in a tight budget. There's plenty of dirt right next to both sides of the road. You just got to be smart enough to figure out how to use it to your advantage and cut the expense down. So, like I say, this isn't bad at all. But what you can do is we've got to get one spot between here and the truck or the other side of the truck, because that water, I mean, the road's not that bad, but water's running down it. Well, it's not doing no damage until it falls off this little drop off here. So what we got to do, I've got to come up here probably on, really I need to do it from this direction. Back down there and make a little V ditch and bring the dirt up here, fill this up and get this high enough where when the water comes down through here, it goes off over there and goes out into them briars and post oak trees and doesn't keep on going down the road because that's where it gets into trouble. Now, even though it's not washing very bad from here on down, if we can keep everything from here up to the gate, there's where we come in up there where that cattle guard is and gate. So if we can shut a bunch of this off right here, then it's going to pick up some more water, but this ain't near what it is from the gate. See, there's already a little berm over here that's keeping that water from coming in. So really we're just dealing with what it's catching up on top of the hill and bringing down here. So that's a pretty easy fix there. Even this isn't bad, and it'll be better when we cut the water off from it. But see, we've got another overfall right here. So I need to get this water out of the road and get it over there before we get down to here. Again, it's doing the same thing. And I told him, I said I wouldn't have my motor grader. I'm just kind of cut and back drag it, but I can still make it smoother than what it is now. So you can see what this water's doing. There's so much of it coming in. It's coming down here. It turns and it's just almost in the road. And then what they're having, there's a culvert down here because there's a tank, and then when it spills, it comes down through this way. And I don't want this water going on top of this culvert because it gets watered out. Then they get stuck because they can't go one to the left or to the right, or they are off the culvert. And it's probably 4 foot deep on both sides. So I may take that dozer after I make 2 turnouts over here. Then I may just take that dozer and just right here and just smooth this up and make one where this water will go off right there that comes in between here and that oak tree right there, there'll be a little water, so I can kick it off here. And then we may go, I'm not going to take you the whole thing because I don't want to walk that much, but see, look right here, this water comes through here and is breaking off and going that way. And that's just all the silt. But if I'll close that little bit off, well, that's lower over there than this is. It just has to get past this hump to get it. And I can put a little dirt in the road here and help that. But I still want to get some more water cut off and running over there. Then all I really need to do is probably, it's better to do it from the low side, or I like working on the low side of a culvert the way it's draining. There's a big tank, and then when it spills, it comes into the, and then comes through this culvert and out. But you see, once this gets wet up here, the water can't get off of it. It just stays in these ruts and they get it watered out. I may even go down both sides with that dozer blade and just kind of cut some of them briars off. They're kind of acting like a silt fence, and anything, it traps that water and stuff. And then I'm going to back out here and put some dirt in this road. Just enough to get it up higher and have some kind of little crown in it where the water will drain off to one side or the other. And there again, 90% of the trouble is the water that's coming down into the road from up there. Now this side's bad. That's probably between 1/4 and 1/2 mile to the top of the ridge up there, and every bit of the water that's in that road comes all the way down to here. It can't get out, it never gets out. It just builds up speed. So they're going from here up the hill, I'm going to be doing the same thing. I'll have a turnout right here and build this up. If I can raise this up about 1 foot, which is nothing, that'll be easy to do, and start building turnouts up there and start kicking that water off in the pasture. I know I need one before I get to that drop off right there. And then there's a spot up there, the road's 6 foot lower than the outside of the pasture, but about where that big clump of cactus is, I can make a turnout up there. But you can see right here what happens. The water's just running down the ruts, and it just gets deeper and deeper and deeper, or it dumps silt in the ruts, and then you start getting stuck. And then, of course, I've got a pipeline to deal with right there, but that's not that big a deal. I've got plenty of room out here to work. I may get over here and get some dirt and put in the road and push some of them trees back and get this built up a little bit before I turn it out, just to keep this overfall right here. I may just have the one turnout up here, raise this up, and I'll have one. There's a good spot for one. If I fill this up and then put a turnout up there where that low place is, there won't be that much water come. This won't wash out again because it'll all be filled in, and even get it leaning a little bit. I can't cut no ditch here with that pipeline, but I can fill all I want to on top of it. Then this is just a pasture road. It's not traveled as much, so it's not doing this. It's not near as bad a shape, but right about where that tree is at an angle would be a good place for a turnout here to catch this water from going down. Then there'll be another one up there about that cactus, and maybe one more up there. So we're not gonna walk. I walk pretty good little ways when you're talking and not thinking about how far you're walking, see? So, but I'll show you that up there when we get up there. I think I'll start on this end. When you get up there to where the road bends back to the south, that's not as bad. This is the most critical part, so I'm going to start down here on this end and work my way up the hill. And that right there is a homemade water stopper, I guess. That is a sack of saccharine that was thrown in here. Here's some boards. I can tell you exactly what happened. This water was coming down through here, and there was a ditch here, and it shot across that road, and there was probably a ditch there 2 foot deep. So their sucker rod drove in the ground, and I'm going to dig all that up and push it out of the way. I don't want to cover that stuff up. Dirt does not bond to saccharine. They probably see they even got sacks way out here. They probably slowed it down, but then it just moved over and went to washing here. It was probably washing right here. But since I'm going to fix this, I'm going to fix it right. I'm digging that up and pushing it out here, and they can save it for later again. Something else. You got to watch to get all them pieces of sucker rod out of there. You got some flat tires in a hurry. So, well, that's the game plan for right now. Do the best I can do with the amount of money that I got to work with. And that's why they call me, I guess. I'll get it just about done for what they want it. Like I say, he's a long-time dozer customer, and he trusts me to do it. He knows I'm going to do it right, so he did give me a pretty good sized job here about 3 years ago working for an oil company, and they had a line bust on his property and had quite a bit of damages, and he got a new gravel road. I got to build a new gravel road so they could go in and out and haul all that material off. So it all works out in the end. So there's quite a bit of oil field down here and wind turbines on these hills and stuff. So, but it is pretty. It's a whole lot prettier in the springtime. I mean, man, there's some massive oak trees out here. Like I say, it's just nothing but pretty and green in the springtime. So anyway, I got what I was wanting to do, get moved down here today, and I'll bring my fuel trailer in the morning, come in here and get started. I'll be here probably 2 days, or I hope that's about all I'm here, because that's about all the time I've got to spend what he wants to do. And got another job south of here. I think I can cut across another rough gravel road instead of going all the way back down the highway and doubling back. So we'll see what happens. Man, it's supposed to be 75 or 80 today, and it feels like it tomorrow, and then it's going to cool back down. That's a little too warm for this time of year, but 1st of February, but it's better than 15 degrees and snow blowing and stuff. So there's still time for that, but this kind of kicks stuff off in high gear, wanting to come out and pop out when it gets warm like this early. So anyway, thank y'all for watching this channel, and if you hadn't subscribed, wish you'd do that. Any questions or comments, always welcome. And till the next video, which will be tomorrow, we'll start out here and I'll put everything together. Remember, keep your blades shiny and your tracks clean. Bye.